Hello and a very warm welcome to you. This is You.Gov. It's all about you and the government. On the show, we talk about government functions, responsibilities, and we also look at your obligations as a citizen. You have a role to play in your nation. Yes, you are actually the government. I am Olomu-Agbodo. First, we'll go on a quick break. We'll be right back. This week on EduBox, we are reviewing the issues surrounding the recent xenophobia attacks in South Africa and its aftermath. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has apologized to Nigeria over the recent xenophobic attacks in his country. The country's special envoy, Jeff Radebe, tendered apology on behalf of the South African leader. The chairperson of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission (NIDCOM, Abike Dabiri-Erewa, said the returnees are being profiled based on states and that states would be responsible for their citizens. She also stated that none of the returnees are criminals and there are ongoing conversations with the Bank of Industry as regards soft loans. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives have recommended that the chairman of Air Peace Airline, Allen Onyema, be given national honors by the federal government for his philanthropic gesture in airlifting Nigerians from South Africa. More to come on the show.
Now on StarTimes channel 465 is your #1 Christian and lifestyle channel, Love World Plus, meeting all your entertainment needs. Trending, dedications, joyride, celebrity lounge, video tales, and so much more. For those of you who love current affairs, we've got you covered. News focus, strictly politics, the agenda, You.Gov, and so on. Be sure to always be in the know with our informative programs, as we also get you settled with amazing documentaries like A Day in Your Neighborhood, Discover Africa. These will blow your mind. The youths and kids are not left out, as we have created a platform for them to speak, learn, and have fun. And to crown it all, we serve fresh, hot, and sizzling foods to feed your spirit, soul, and body. That is Pastor's programs. There's never a dull moment with us. So make it a date on channel 465 as we take you on a smooth journey to cater to all your needs. Love World Plus, channel 465 on StarTimes.
You're welcome back. If you just joined us, this is You.Gov, and it's all about you and the government. We've been talking about the xenophobic attacks in South Africa and looking at government responses towards the attacks, what government had done so far. And now we want to go a step further and hear from some of the returnees from South Africa. What were their experiences like, and what do they feel returning back to Nigeria? Take a listen.
I'm happy. When I got back, I got to see people welcome us. They took us. They were also very kind to my dad. It was a man seat, and then they took him in the ambulance, and everything was great.
We sing here. It's not easy. With tears, agony, crying, sleepless nights, empty stomach. At times I beg once in a week. I thank them so much. They make me feel at home. They wash the pains, stress. Before coming 2 nights, I didn't sleep. I was at consulate, no sleep. Till now, I thank the God State.
It was so terrible. It's nothing to write home about. It's so bad. Actually, they don't like foreigners, more especially the Nigerians. No matter how hard you try, they will never like you.
Yeah, my life was not really too bad because I went to South Africa for a purpose. I went to study as a chef. So I went to chef school there. So immediately after my training, I came back to Nigeria. So I went for advanced training. So that is that.
Which is not supposed to be so, because it's evacuation. Evacuation don't need those things because they are not coming back to your country. So why are you stopping them? So now it was their pains. It's still the same hatred because they were expecting us to use SA transport, the money will go to them for them to benefit. But since it's not like that, so it's paining them. Their economic is affecting them. Yeah.
Quite sad there. A lot of Nigerians are actually happy to be returning back to their home country due to the xenophobic attacks they faced in South Africa. And we heard recently the chairman in charge of the Nigerian Commission in charge of Diaspora Affairs, Abike Dabiri, saying that state governments will take care of the returnees. Each state will take care of the returnees that are allocated to their states. And we want to take a listen to that soundbite. And also the Lagos state government has actually gone a step further to provide for some of these returnees. We would also take a listen to the soundbite from the representative of the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. Take a listen.
The 187, as you all know, at about 9:30 p.m. on Wednesday. Now, there were over 30 that were children, and what we've done is we've profiled them according to their states. So we expect the state governors to take responsibility for their citizens that have returned. Now, I'm going to stress one thing. Those who returned are not criminals, but they are very hardworking Nigerians, very hardworking, and they've lost everything they ever worked for in South Africa. So their only crime is being black and being Nigerian. Abia has 7, Anambra has 13 returnees, Benue has 1, Delta 15, Ebonyi 2 returnees, Edo State 13, Ekiti 6, Enugu 7, Imo 28, Kogi 1 returnee, Kwara 3 returnees, Lagos 7, Ogun 30, Ondo 6, Osun 6, and Oyo 23. This makes the largest number in the first batch of 30 from Ogun State, and the second will be 28 from Imo State, with some states having 1. So now when they returned, everybody got a SIM card and airtime that will last about 2 months, and some money for transportation. And Bank of Industry, as I speak with you now, has their contact, so they'll be calling them to come for the Bank of Industry stock loans, so that those are the immediate plans for them. Then as they settle in, we're going to profile them and do a needs assessment, because somebody might want to trade and you want to say go and do hairdressing, so it's better to do a needs assessment. Now, a lot of people have also offered services like counseling, entrepreneurship training. We're compiling everything, and the good thing is we have their contact, so we'll be reaching all the returnees on what I want to do. But the immediate thing is Bank of Industry will be reaching out to them. Imo, Ondo, Ekiti, all of them are now sending their persons, meet with them and decide what you do with them. On the part of the government, you receive them with money to help them survive for a few days. Bank of Industry will give them the number. They also call, they get soft loans, and the state governors, are expected to now work on complete rehabilitation and reintegration. There will be medicals here. We have a team of doctors who have volunteered. We have counselors here. We have also trainers who says they want to do a needs assessment. What do they need to be trained on? So that is on ground. But there has to be a long-term decision by state governors.
Well, it's the good-heartedness of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. He saw the plight of Nigerians in diaspora, South Africa, and he's particularly created his office, Diaspora Foundations, to cater for the needs of diasporans. So when he heard they were coming back on this flight, he made a provision for an allowance of that sum of money, 20,000 to be given to them so they could have something to eat, have somewhere to stay if possible, just so they can be integrated back into the country. You know, Lagos State is a welcoming city. It's a cosmopolitan city. It's a mixed city. People from around the world come here. And we have a governor who is welcoming. Lagos is the connecting city with the diaspora with Nigeria. So governor has said, you know what, let's ensure they come here and have an easy landing. It will be well with Lagos, it will be well with these returnees, and we're here to support them.
Quite interesting, but not so funny there. A lot of people are going to find it very difficult to settle in because they've been out of the country for so long. You heard of the teenager that has been out of Nigeria for over 10 years and is coming back to face what? The government will do their bit, but you as an individual, you also have to step in to help as much as you can. Now, meanwhile, South Africa has actually sent an apology to Nigeria. They sent a delegation to Nigeria saying they are sorry for what happened in South Africa. Let's take a listen to the representative of South Africa.
As I alluded in my opening remarks, there is a binational commission between South Africa and Nigeria, and on the 3rd of October, during President Buhari's state visit to South Africa, there will be detailed discussions that are going to be held there. I do understand that this issue of compensation restitution is part of the agenda items in the draft that the Nigerian government has presented to South Africa. So I think let's wait until the 3rd of October to see how that unfolds. But I can indicate as a lawyer that the South African law requires that all registered companies must have public insurance in terms of things of this nature.
A lot of Nigerians are actually saying that the apology by South Africa is not heartfelt. What do you think about that? How should the apology have been rendered? Should the president of South Africa have come to Nigeria to tender the apology himself? Or what do you think about that? But we have an analyst who is going to be talking about his own perspective of the xenophobic attacks to us this week. He's Ibukun Lala, and he's a legal practitioner. Take a listen.
The government is handling it mildly. They are not taking it serious, and they are handling it with kids' gloves. In what sense? What do I mean? The government is not approaching the issue properly. Xenophobia is a issue by one's own. In this situation, our fellow compatriots and Nigerians in South Africa, they are being massacred on a daily basis for one reason or the other. Now, the government ought to be expedient towards salvaging the situation. What do I mean? In terms of the rescue of our compatriots who are in South Africa, in terms of the rescue back home and their rehabilitation, government is not doing enough. They're not doing well enough. And what caused it? Our foreign policy objective, Nigeria's foreign policy objective, is not pro-Nigerian. In other words, it doesn't have the interest of Nigerians at heart. Nigeria is more concerned with what it can benefit as a government from other relations across the globe instead of protection of Nigerians. Now, for example, look at what happened in South Africa now. Nigerian government ought to take it tough with South Africa diplomatically. They should impose sanctions on them and, so as far as possible, go aggressive diplomatically. But in this case, they're not doing enough. They're not doing enough. Now, we lack, our problem is that we don't love ourselves. The in-house killings and massacres, we have not done anything about it. The in-house killing of Nigerians abroad, look at the massacre by Boko Haram insurgents, look at the massacre by Fulani Asmin. Nigerians have not done anything about it. And in this case, people outside, foreigners have seen that, yes, insofar as Nigerian lives can be lost within the polity, how much more externally? So that's the problem with our foreign relations. We don't love each other. The Nigerian government has the requisite package, but the implementation might be a problem. For example, now, about 215 batch of Nigerian returnees arrived from South Africa today. People like the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Special Advisor to the President, Abike on Nigerians in diaspora, they all came out and said, and the Lagos State government, they all came out and offered and made promises. They haven't offered. They made promises and pledges that they will give money to these returnees. Also, the Bank of Industry has also said that they will try and engage and empower these returnees for them to be well settled and reintegrated back. We have the resources, we have the wherewithal, but the implementation is what I'm concerned about. Because prior to now, we didn't have this objective. It's after somebody has benevolently undertaken to airlift these returnees back home. It's day after the government is saying they wish to empower them. Now, the Lagos State government has promised 20,000 and 40,000 stipend. I hope they will feel it. The Bank of Industry has also promised to engage or empower these returnees in vocation for them to be able to find their way back home and for them to be able to empower themselves and start afresh. So, we have the resources, we have the willpower, but I pray it's going to be implemented. Openly in Nigeria, implementation is one problem. But the Lagos government has promised to give these returnees 20 to 40,000 naira stipend, cash, for them to be able to transport themselves back home. The Bank of Industry has also pledged to empower these returnees with one or two skills for them to be able to have a source of livelihood. So we have the power, we have the willpower, we have the willpower and the wherewithal, but I hope we can be able to implement it. We are in Nigerian, implementation is under battle or kettle of fish. He deserves to be honored because he has taken the bull by the horn. He deserves to be honored. That's the person of the chairman of APIS, Barrister Halen Oyama. He deserves to be honored because why? He has undertaken to do what the government has failed to do. I thought it was at little cost. There was a lifting Nigerians from South Africans back home that is free of charge. He bore all the expenses. And believe me, what is delaying other returnees from coming back home is the Nigerian High Commission's refusal to clear Nigerians back home. Now, the rescue of these returnees back home ought to be the sole prerogative and responsibility of the government, but the government has not done anything. They are only attacking this issue diplomatically. Diplomatically in the sense that heads of state, Nigerian heads of state and South African heads are just sharing ideas, shifting grounds, and still talking and negotiating. What about the rescue of this? And let's bear in mind, these people are being killed day by day. What ought to be the paramount objective of the government is to airlift and rescue these returnees back, these Nigerians back home. But mainly they have refused to do so. We have the money, we have the facilities, but government is yet to do so. The one person or body or organization who has done this is Herpes. That's why all kudos goes to him. The proposed recommendation by the National Assembly to confer on him a national honor is well deserved.
Well, quite interesting. He's saying that the federal government has what it takes to actually take care of all of these returnees from South Africa. And he's also saying that the state government should also do their bit in taking care of these citizens and integrating them back to the society. But it raised the question of implementation. We have what it takes to take care of them, but how well can these policies be implemented to favor these returnees from South Africa? We want to go on a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We still have our analyst standing by to give his own perspective of what he would have done if he were in charge of the affairs of government. Take a listen.
If I were the chief of the government, I will respond proactively and aggressively. I will respond proactively and aggressively. In that, I will make sure diplomatically I sanction the government of South Africa and South Africans as a whole for daring to take the life or lives of my fellow compatriots. I will deal with them diplomatically. Hope you all know war these days is a last option. Indirectly, I'm going to make sure I impose sanctions on all South African investment in Nigeria. That alone will make the government of Nigeria sit tight. But because we have not done so, they feel since we haven't the actual reaction, they haven't seen that actual reaction from Nigerians. What the Nigerian government is still doing is I don't care attitude. And the South African government has read it. They can read the faces of the government that they're not really going to do anything. Look at, take for example the case of the Khashoggi murder, that Turkish journalist that was killed in Saudi Arabia. The government of Saudi Arabia is still paying dearly for it. It's still paying dearly for it because why? Diplomatic sanctions were imposed heavily on them. So that's what I would have done. Then in terms of proactivity, in terms of being proactive, that's aggressively, I will impose sanctions to compel the government of Africa not only to apologize, but also make sure the perpetrators are brought to book. Now, proactively, I expect that the Nigerian government should take the airlifting of other Nigerians, of all Nigerians for South Africa, a priority. But mainly the government has not done that. It's too bad. The apology is not heartfelt. It's not too sincere. The president of South Africa, in person of Ramaphosa, ought to personally. Our president doesn't have to go there because he's the bereaved one. He's the offended one. It ought to be vice versa. Let the president of South Africa come and personally apologize and make restitution for the lives that were lost. That apology is not sincere, and I oppose that our president should go there. It's not the best because we are the bereaved.
Well, quite interesting. Our analyst also said that he feels the government of South Africa was not sincere in their apology, but Nigeria must move forward and Africa must move forward. So let us forget about the xenophobia. Let us forge ahead. Let us try and grow our economy. Let us try and create an enabling environment for our returnees and make sure that we prevent people from suffering, our Nigerians from suffering in other countries outside the shores of this great nation. We have some more tidbits for you. Well, it's been a very interesting episode, and we hope we don't have to talk about xenophobia anymore because it is a thing of the past. But at this time, I want to say a very big thank you to Alan Oyema, the chairman of Airpeace Airline, who graciously lent out fleets of aircraft to go and pick up Nigerians from South Africa. And the National Assembly, the House of Representatives, have actually said he deserves to be honored nationally. And let's just take that clip before we go.
I commend the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Muhammad Buhari, for the matured way he handled the issue of xenophobia in South Africa in the face of debilitating and very annoying provocation that could make any country to take the wrong decision. But our president showed a lot of maturity in handling the issue. I decided to do this. I don't need a penny, I don't need a dime from anybody, and I've never been given any by anybody, not by government, not by anybody. The only thing I demanded from the government of the day was get the High Commission in South Africa to get my countrymen and women together for me to come and move them out of that place in order to restore respect to our dignity as a nation. And I'm very happy to announce to you that that singular act has brought a lot of respect for Nigeria worldwide.
Well, that's how much we can take this week. You can log on to our website on www.loverplus.tv and you can send comments to numbers I'll be showing on your screen at this time. I am Itohan Olomu-Agbodo. Bye for now.